Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teamwork Design, where we strive to design life from conversation to communication. I am your host, Terry Mera.
Have to debate constantly what do you value, and you constantly compromise yourself along the way. That's where at that time I was just angry, but it after went through a personal journey of healing and understanding, and also I have to own the responsibility, accountability on my partake.
Yes. Yes. Which is fucking so hard. Because you're like this certain manners and characteristics that this person are doing because you have allowed them to do. Then you kind of go like, I allowed you to do this. I allowed you to do this to me. And I should never have done that. And like, how dare I do that to myself? And that is the bitterest pill to swallow. Because you can't even blame
Yes.
them. You can't even blame them because you allowed it. You put it on a silver platter and say, here, do this to me. That
Yes.
sucks.
Yes. That
Mm.
was
Mm.
the I think that was the most humbling, I will say. Because now your ego is in the trash can.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's not about your ego, your pride is gone, your ego is gone. Now you're looking at the realistic, the most raw, truthful way of see things. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about the other person anymore. It's all about you. What you are allowed to happen to your life, to you, to your emotion, your mental and physical, everything that involves in. And you're like, oh my God, I have projecting what I cannot do or what I'm avoiding to do onto other people. It takes two to tango. It takes two hands to make that clap sound. There's never
Yes.
one side. That was the most, yeah, that was a really beautiful pill to swallow.
That to me is the bitterest pill to swallow. Because you
Yeah.
can no longer point. That's why that thing is like sometimes when you point a finger at someone else, there are four more pointing right back at you. You point one and there are four pointing directly back at you. So
Oh
yeah.
my God. I
And
haven't heard that in a long time, but that is so true. It is
it's
so
true.
true.
And in that situation sometimes you just like, and you did this and you did this and you did this and like this, and that you are correct in those things you call out. But at the same time you're just like, you know what, I allowed you to think that treating me in a certain kind of way was okay because I went along with it. I did. I signed off. I co-signed on that kind of behavior, which is the worst. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience as well.
Yeah, it was painful. The thing is, once you recognize the truth, and
Hmm.
then it has it's a shock value, and now you have to slowly digest it one bite at a time. And then once that is a happen, now you have to what? You have to forgive yourself for doing it.
Yes.
And that journey, it's like it never
A whole
stops. It was like another chapter one, and then you have to see the truth, and chapter two you have to like digest the truth. It's not about just knowing it, understanding it, and living it so that it doesn't happen again, right? And then after that, where do you go? You have to start forgiving yourself, because if you don't, you're gonna have a self resentment. And what do we do if we have that? We're gonna what? Victimize ourselves. So it's just never ending journey.
become healthy and whole, have you can't shortcut that journey. You have to go through every single pain. Like you literally can't go, well, I'm gonna skip this part. Is like, you can't skip any of the parts. You gotta go through every single one of the parts. And it ain't easy and it doesn't happen overnight at all. You gotta do the work. And that work is very, very difficult.
While I'm doing the work, is that you get to see people for who they are while you are healing. it kind of gives you a totally different paradigm of a perspective. How do you navigate in this society? Because now you see things, when people say, yeah, I can smell bullshit a mile away. Yeah, you can literally smell the bullshit a mile away.
Yeah. But it's also that you are smelling the bullshit a mile away, but you also, it almost, I don't know, for me, it almost feels that like you're wearing glasses. You thought you saw everything fine, but all of a sudden, like the glasses got clean, and you see things so much clearer. And not only are you seeing outward, but you're seeing inward at the same time.
Yep.
So the perspective of like when you see the bullshit, you also know for yourself, like I'm immediately gonna go like unacceptable. You know what I mean? And like not feel weird about like because like in those, I think for me, I think in those instances when we go through that stuff and we realize that we were like the people who also co-signed on some of the behavior that that person had that was damaging to us, and we allowed it. I think that after you go through that and you go through like the healing process and go through every single step, not that it makes you stronger. You know that when you see the bullshit, you know that like if you don't call it out and stop it immediately, you can go through the same thing again, right? So you are able to like not only see it but also say, "Hey, hey, I see bullshit and I'm not gonna accept it." So no, and like walk away, just be completely like fine.
You realize your progress in a lot of ways. And I'm not
Mm,
saying it to, oh, I'm better than you. It's just more of you gain a lot of self awareness when
mm-hmm.
a person says or do. It's like, it sort of will teach you a lesson. There is a saying, there is no enemies, no friends, only teachers, right? So I'm
Oh wow.
looking at in their perspective where whoever I met is whether what they're lack of or they're better off, whatever it is, it's not my judgment. It's more of what I learn from it. So if I see somebody that who has not been aligned or their journey is a little bit, I should say, behind at this current moment, it doesn't mean that they will be behind forever. Everybody's
Right.
take different journey. So let's say at this currently the person is a little bit behind and he doesn't realize what I realize, or she doesn't realize what I realize, right? But it kind of teach me a lesson where, okay, I have to
Mm-hmm.
respect their journey while I'm realizing it. Remember, I was there too. And so they kind of reinforce me to not go back.
Yes.
Because when you
Yes.
try to take a shortcut, you might shortcutting one step, but you might
You
fall
can't
like
short.
three steps. You know what
You
I
can't
mean?
shortcut that. You can't shortcut that. You can literally like you could as well not do the work than try to do part of the work and shortcut it. You have to do all of the work.